Well, I think from the king's remarks, good policy runs deep. I think the king was calling for a return to openness in markets, in trade, in tolerance. I think all those things have been a hallmark of conservatism. I think there's also a real opportunity to pivot while President Trump is here, of course, to growth, to opportunity, and to full participation in the economy.
The anger that's out there says that many people are not enjoying growth. How do we pull them into growth?
Well, first, we've got to get growth itself up. And that's going to require some things that might be controversial right now: more spending on research, more high skilled immigration, a better policy toward AI and electricity generation. We need all of those things. To get more people into growth requires much more investment in people, better training, better resources, and better working
Right.
with companies to do that.
Nancy Lazar has been brilliant on
Yes.
this, Paul, in market economics.
Professor, the war in the Middle East, it's obviously wreaking havoc on a lot of economic parts of the economy here, most notably in the energy markets. Is it to the point where you're concerned about its impact on global economic growth? Is a recession something that could result from kind of this instability we're seeing?
Well, it certainly could, but I don't think it's the likeliest outcome. Remember, the United States in particular is much less
Yep.
energy intensive than in previous shocks. I think what's more likely is a slowdown in growth combined with inflation being uncomfortably stuck,
Yep.
which is one of the problems the Fed, of course, will have to deal with today.
What do you expect from the Fed today? And then, I guess, just as importantly, from the new Federal Reserve Chairman, Kevin Warsh?
Well, I don't expect any change in the funds rate today. It'll be interesting to see if there's any change in the language in the FOMC statement. I think incoming Chair Warsh has been pretty clear. He wants to look at all of the data. He has a very clear story about AI going forward. The time path there, though, may be a challenge. I don't expect a lot of rate cuts from the Fed in the very near term, even under a Warsh Fed chair.
So if the growth story may be slowing, I guess probably maybe the bigger concern for the marketplace is just inflation out there. Again, we're looking at the cost of energy, whether it's gasoline or diesel fuel or jet fuel. And again, not as big an issue here as it is in other parts of the world, but that's got to be a concern.
Yes, but it's more than that. Remember, inflation was a problem before February 28th. Inflation was well above the Fed's target and appeared to be stuck. The energy prices may be more of a one-off, but the real issue,
Right.
as many Fed officials have commented, is do expectations become unhinged? So yes, inflation is a real problem.
As we exit out of Glenn Hubbard, can I do an audible?
Sure, let it rip.
Glenn, I don't think you've gotten nearly the credit with Lee Bollinger of the miracle wrought at the Columbia Business School.
Rock stars.
What was it like the first meetings where you had a vision to blow it up, and is by wide acclaim, Columbia's the juggernaut that you and others developed is unparalleled across this nation. How did that happen?
Well, it happened with a lot of people. And first, I'd like to give a lot of credit to Lee Bollinger. Actually, his vision for this campus was a big part of it. But it's really a story about the business community, about alumni, about students, about faculty. It's always been a great school, and it's come together. I'm very proud of it.
I mean, did you like have lunch with David Geffen and say, David, we got to do this?
No, he's been very generous to the school.